Hello YouTube, Agent of Doubt here. Sorry for the misleading title, which it will be Krazy2DKore is not a real Christian. And I'm going to name this video that because it's part of a series of me telling people the same thing. It's a recycled argument, basically. The last time I used this on someone on YouTube, it was Fitchiful Thinking, and I'm going to put a link to that around here. And when I explained this to Fitchiful Thinking, I did it in much harsher terms. So if you're looking for ponage, I would go click that video instead of watching this one, because I'm about to be nice to James. Now, in James's video, IG Can't Handle the Truth, James says that Violet Kitten, Inventor Gorilla, and the Poker Hulk, King of Craps guy, they're all not Christians. I'm going to play something of that for you right now.
Don't it? Now, I'm sick and tired of these Christians who are such, for lack of a better word, pussies. When it comes to people, you know, persecuting you and heckling you about what you believe in and what your religion is. That brings me to two conclusions. Either A, y'all really aren't Christians, or B, you just said you were Christians just to stir up the bee's nest.
Okay, James looks really angry, but we're gonna tackle this in a very soft manner. When you're a Christian and you believe in the hocus pocus behind the entire story in the Bible, the way that you treat salvation can probably be categorized as you either believe the people, once they're saved, they're always saved, the once saved, always saved argument, where all you have to do is ask Jesus into your heart, and from that point on, you're supposed to try to be a good person, but you are getting into heaven. That is your ticket right there. There's another group of people who are Christians who believe that once you're saved, you can still backslide and still go to hell, but you can become unsaved by sinning and then not repenting. You know, and you have problems with that line of reasoning where you think of like a 12-year-old girl tripping on a crack on the sidewalk and saying, "Oh shit, fuck, Jesus Christ," and then she falls into the street and gets run over by a bus. You know, she's going to hell because she didn't repent right after. And then, you know, a serial killer on death row gets to repent, you know, as his last action, and he goes to heaven. There's another group of people that think that everyone is saved, and that anyone who doesn't believe in Jesus is just disillusioned or lying to themselves, and they believe that everyone has this little voice inside of them saying, "Hey, God is real." So, when you're thinking of salvation in terms as such, some people think that it's impossible to become not a Christian if you were ever a Christian. They are the ones who think that they are elect, okay? And these people think that there's a lot of people who say they're Christian, and then when they later decide that they're not a Christian, or they later decide that there's something that they need to rethink, that they were never saved in the first place. They were just going through the motions. And that seems to be what you're saying here, that you know, it wasn't a matter of once saved, always saved. It was a matter of they were never saved in the first place. They never really got the full dose of the Jesus. Now, in the comments section, I disagreed with you calling them not Christians. And in my comment, I said, I disagree with your point that they are not Christians. No Christian is perfect at being one, and some are farther from being one than others. I'll just go so far as to say that some YouTube atheists are better at keeping with the teachings of Christ than some YouTube Christians. And your response to that was, yes, but a true Christian, they wouldn't be broken down so quickly. If their faith is so weak that they feel they have to rethink their beliefs because a bunch of atheists heckle them and throw things in their faces that they feel that their religion can't explain away. Okay. Like I've said to you when you've asked me questions, I don't know. And that's the way it is. Just because I can't answer a question about my religion doesn't mean I'm going to rethink my beliefs. Now, from this I gather that James thinks that if you are a true Christian, or a real Christian, then you have this unwavering faith about you, that no matter what reality sends to you, no matter what other people argue, nothing will make you question your relationship to God. Right? And I see your point of view, and many Christians have that point of view. I want to explain to you my point of view as an atheist, just so that we're clear on this back and forth in the comments section. And that is, without believing in the hocus-pocus mumbo-jumbo part of the Bible, with me just seeing it as a book that has been very influential in history, and having no magical properties whatsoever, I see people who are trying to be more like Jesus, people who are trying their hardest to follow his example, and people who don't. Anyone who's trying to follow the example of Jesus Christ and wants to be known as a Christian, to me, is a Christian. No matter whether they fail at certain points, no matter whether there are certain things that Jesus would do that they have a problem doing, if they're trying to be like Jesus and they say they want to be called a Christian, to me, they are a Christian. And this thought occurred to me a while back when I was being heckled by Christians. You say that their faith is weak if when they're heckled by atheists they buckle and they start to rethink their beliefs. Well, I had a moment where my confidence in logic was challenged by a Christian who said that everyone knows that God exists. And anyone who says that God doesn't exist, they're lying to themselves and others. Right? And everyone has this little voice inside of them that says, I'm God, I exist, I'm God, I exist. Well, the fact of the matter is, I don't have that little voice. I've listened hard for it, and I just don't have it. And so when they make this assertion that everyone is in the group of people that believe in God and some people are just lying about it, I realized that they were categorizing people in a very wrong manner to justify their own belief system. So what you're doing here to other Christians is pretty much the same thing, James. You're telling them that they believe something that they don't believe. You're categorizing them in ways that justifies your own position, rather than looking at them for who they are. So yeah, if Inventor Gorilla and the Poker Hulk want to be called Christians, and they suck at it, you know, they're still Christians. They just suck at being Christians. In Inventor Gorilla's latest video about you, James, he does say that he believes that you are not a real Christian because of your habits, which he would call poisoning your temple. And, you know, he's found something where you fall short in his eyes of following Christ, and he's using that to call you not a Christian. And if each Christian were to pick another Christian and pick some faults out about them where they're not concentrating on being perfect all the time, then, you know, we could probably exclude every person on the earth from being Christians, and the atheist job would be to just mop up the mess. Yeah, and I don't think that's what you want, but that's where you're headed. So hopefully that you can work out your differences with Violet Kitten, Inventor Gorilla, and the Poker Hulk, and come to some understanding that each of you is not perfect. And when you're trying to correct Inventor Gorilla on some of the things that he's done, maybe you can, you know, leave comments on his page that don't say, "Hey, you're not a Christian," when he wants to be called one. We all deserve the dignity of being recognized for what group we want to be a part of. You know,